continued news in regards to cryptocurrencies and when it comes to adoption, institutional adoption, investment, and we're going to cover all of that. But we need to discuss something else. Over the last week, we've seen escalation in Iran. The Clarity Act markup by the Senate Banking Committee was pushed back to the end of April, as well as tribulations and problems essentially in the overall market when we're talking about what's happening with private credit, when we're talking about what's happening with the big players who have the money. Again, we talk about following the money on this channel, and great crypto news is fantastic, but it's not enough to hold it up against the market. Okay, so as the market falls, so will crypto, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. Even though crypto is up a little bit, because we had an announcement from Trump yesterday in regards to the Iran escalation, which we're going to discuss. So we're going to discuss everything that's going on. The president's supposed to be going live a minute ago. I'm not seeing it here on X. We will pull that up live as soon as it does go live. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, let's hop into the news. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you engage in the chat. The chat is the lifeblood of the stream. We will be doing the full live Q&A as soon as we get through everything. So right now, price went up a little bit this morning, but we are starting to have a pullback. I don't know if the president is talking right now. It did not show up on X, but we are experiencing a pullback right now. XRP was up about 1%. Now it's lost that gain back down to $1.34. Canton was up to about 14.6. It's down to 14.4 now. Again, all of this happening in the last couple minutes. I'm assuming president may be live. Yes, he is. Let's watch and see what he has to say live here. Let me get to the correct screen so I don't mess up any of my other stuff. But we should see what he has to say. It says it's beginning shortly. I'll keep an eye on that so we can watch it when it does go live. I have a feeling it's going to impact the markets and it's going to impact the prices. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So let's get back to where we were. We'll keep an eye on this as it goes live. I'll hold off on this video I have from Franklin Templeton. This is a good one. We're going to discuss that. But when we're talking about the overall economy, okay, everyone wants to talk about the reverse carry trade. Well, here you go. Japanese bond yields are going parabolic, up to nearly 4%. This has been a long time since we've seen that kind of rise, but why are we seeing that kind of rise? Well, when you look at the M2 money supply, right, the floating amount of money, what's on the actual balance sheet of the economy, M2 money supply has tripled since 2008. Tripled since 2000. So there's 3 times more money in circulation now than there was in 2008. And the dollar has lost 38% of its purchasing power. Let's think about that. We tripled the money supply and we've lost 1/3 of our purchasing power. Can we see what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Again, this is why I follow the debasement trade. This is one of the reasons why I do like XRP. We want to discuss the utility elements. But remember, it is a deflationary asset. And when we're talking about money being debased at this rate, 38% since 2008, that's nothing to ignore, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go back to the screen, see if the president's talking yet. Still says it'll begin shortly. It's all right. So I do have it pulled up. Make sure we don't miss it. So we covered the money supply. So breaking news, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warns private credit losses will be larger than expected. We've been talking about this for 6 months, guys. Private credit is going down the tube and it's playing out in real time. If you've been here long enough, then you'll know. And people saying the domino effect is coming. We'll see. You guys, a lot of people didn't like my domino theory debunk video, but that's okay. Check the White House. He's not talking yet. Okay. Great. So we covered this one. All right. Next, breaking news. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, if you guys know that one, is sitting on $373 billion in cash, enough to buy 480 companies in the S&P 500 outright. When the greatest investor alive refuses to deploy his capital, that's not patience. That's a warning. What does Buffett know that we don't? He said I remember seeing an interview recently with Warren Buffett that he wasn't getting in until he saw a larger pullback in the economy. And when we're talking about the money supply, and we're talking about private credit, and we're talking about Iran war escalations, and we're talking about all these things, it is not setting up a pretty picture for the economy moving forward. Again, not trying to be doom and gloom, but I haven't talked about it in a little bit for you guys. I wanted to put it out there because the data is the data. The pictures are worth 1,000 words. I would love to be bullish on everything forever, but that's not how our economy is looking right now. That's why I focus on utility tokens, because utility tokens should separate themselves in the long run. We're building infrastructure for the next 5 to 10 years. It's about the long view. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You should always do your own research. What is going on with this? Is he not talking? Like, I'm playing this. He's just not come out yet. He said he was going live at noon. He's late by 6 minutes already. What the heck, yo? Thought you were supposed to be punctual, Trumpy. What's going on? There's 10,000 people in here and it's still not live yet. Okay, well, we'll wait. Moving on. Let's get to the good news while we wait for the president to talk. BlackRock is setting new sights on a corner of a 13.7 trillion U.S. exchange-traded fund industry controlled by Invesco, the QQQ, if you guys are familiar with that, the NASDAQ 100 index. So BlackRock is going to do a NASDAQ 100 ETF to challenge QQQ. This is going to be a major ETF. This is going to make BlackRock a lot of money, especially when you factor in tokenized stocks, tokenized ETFs. Ripple to host XRP Tokyo on April 7th, 2026. That is tomorrow. Ripple is set to host XRP Tokyo tomorrow, organized by XRPL Japan. The conference will bring together senior Ripple executives, including Christina Chan, Tatsuya Korigi, and Marcus Infringer as keynote speakers. The event centers on XRP's expanding role in institutional adoption, RWA tokenization, and DeFi. Representatives from SBI Asia, A16Z Crypto, and Evernorth, and Securitize Japan are all also confirmed to attend. Japan remains one of Ripple's most strategical, vital markets, backed by long-standing partnerships with SBI Holdings. So, wonder if we're going to get an announcement out of Japan tomorrow. Again, remember, they're supposed to start going live with the XRPL in the second half of, at the end of the first half of this year, second quarter. So again, we should be seeing that, as well as the DTCC going live with the pilot and Canton Network also this quarter. Lots of stuff this quarter. Am I doing something wrong here? Like, for real, let me exit out of this and reopen it maybe. No, he's still just not talking. It's got everyone waiting on a whim. I don't want to, well, I guess I can pull up the video and do it right now. All right, we'll do this right now. So Heslin Kim, 180 trillion won South Korea conglomerate Hanwha invest in Canton Strategic Holdings. This is the treasury company for Canton. Hanwha Asset Management made a strategic investment of 50 billion KRW, approximately 33 million, into Canton Strategic Holdings, publicly traded company whose core... Oh, I hear talking. Here we go. We'll come back to this. See what the president has to say.
It's a great honor to be with you, and happy Easter. We had a great Easter. This is one of our better Easters, I think, in a lot of different ways. I can say militarily, it's been one of the best. So, good afternoon. We have quite a bit to discuss. We'll go into pretty good detail, and we have the people that are most involved. We'll give you exactitude. And we're here today to celebrate the success of one of the largest, most complex, most harrowing combat searches.
He's calling it in?
You would call it a search and rescue mission.
Oh, the search and rescue.
Ever attempted by the military. Generally, when planes are knocked down in war, especially when you're fighting a strong group, an evil group, you can't really do this because you send in 200 men to pick up one. And it's something that's usually not attempted as much as you want to attempt. And bad things happen to that one or two. And in this case, we did too, and it might not have been attempted before, but we did. And we had great talent, but we got a little luck too, I would say. And we were helped by a lot of people, a lot of great people. And it was an honor to be involved with it. It's very historic. This is a rescue that's very historic. It'll go down in the books. Late Thursday night, an American F-15 fighter jet went down deep inside enemy territory in Iran while participating in Operation Epic Fury, where we're doing unbelievably well, well at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. Both members of the crew ejected from the aircraft and landed alive. On Iranian soil, I immediately was asked to make a decision. I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2. It's a hard decision to make. But in the United States military, we leave no American behind. We don't do it. Within hours, our armed forces deployed 21 military aircraft into hostile airspace, many flying at very low altitude, being shot by bullets. You bring rifles into play when you're going that low, but there are also certain advantages. And in broad daylight over Iran for 7 hours, at times facing very, very heavy enemy fire. We have a helicopter that's got a lot of bullets in it. It's amazing. We just realized how good those weapons are. Our machines are. Nobody has the equipment that we have, and nobody has the military that we have.
I'm sorry, guys. I
can't. Most
can't.
powerful military.
I can't. It's saying more of the same. Yes, I'm glad we went in and got the fighter pilot out. It was a success. But other than that, looks like the bombings will continue. And let me know in the chat if you guys want to keep watching it. We will. But it just seems like more of the same to me. I'm going to check the chat here. Let me know.
We're in the world by far. The flight crews and warfighters aboard those aircraft took extraordinary risks to rescue their fellow service members. This first wave of search and rescue forces successfully located the pilot of the F-15, and he was extracted from enemy territory by an HH-60 Jolly Green II helicopter. Fabulous machine as our warriors faced gunfire at very close range. It's amazing that when you look at the machinery, what happened, that nobody was even injured. Meanwhile, the second crew member, a weapons system officer, highly respected colonel, had landed a significant distance away from the pilot. When you're going at those speeds, even if you go out 2 or 3 seconds later, it's miles and miles away because you're going fast. He was injured quite badly and stranded in an area teeming with terrorists from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rough group, as well as besieged militia and local authorities. Many, on top of everything else, they told the communities actually within side of Iran, the people of Iran, they were given a tremendous incentive to find this pilot. Despite the peril, the officer followed his training and climbed into the treacherous mountain terrain and started climbing toward a higher altitude, something they were trained to do in order to evade capture. They want to always go as far away from the site of the shoot down. You want to go as far away because they all head right to that site. You want to be as far away as you can. And he was injured, and he was an amazing, amazing thing. He scaled cliff faces, bleeding rather profusely, treated his own wounds, and contacted American forces to transmit his location. They have a very sophisticated beeper-type apparatus that is on them at all times. And when they go out on these missions,
called
they
a
make
beacon,
sure they
homie.
have lots of battery space, and they're in good shape.
Oh my God.
And this
It's
one
painful.
worked really well, amazingly, saved his life. We immediately mobilized a massive operation to retrieve him from the mountain holdout, and he kept going higher and higher. The mountain kept getting rougher and rougher, and really very, very hard to find. The second rescue mission involved 155 aircraft, including 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft, and more. We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location because they had a vast military force out there. Thousands of people were looking. So we wanted them to look in different areas, so we were scattered all over like we were right on top of them. We had 7 different locations where they thought, and they were very confused. They said, well, wait a minute, they've got groups here, they've got groups there.
They said, they spoke to him and said they were confused.
I was listening to
This is painful, guys.
these great people, these great generals, General Raising Cane, who's amazing, and Pete Hegseth.
General Raising Cane.
I listened to the whole thing. It was pretty amazing. So they had all these different sites where everybody thought he was located. We think we have him over there because they have 9 planes circling a little area that's 25 miles down the coast. So in a breathtaking show of skill and precision, lethality and force, America's military descended on the area, the real area, engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind. The heroic F-15 weapon system officer had evaded capture on the ground in Iran for almost 48 hours. That's a long time when you're in tough shape and when you're bleeding. It's a long time. When we left, as you probably know, we had 2 large planes, pretty old planes that carried a lot. We needed a lot more equipment going in than coming out, obviously, because going in, we needed to be able to scale mountains, and we had a lot of equipment. But the sand was sandy, wet sand, so we thought there may be a problem taking off because of the weight of the plane, and then we also had all the men jumping back onto the planes, and they got pretty well bogged down.
I can't do it. I can't. This is. Yeah, I'm happy they saved him. I'm happy there were no casualties. That's great. It was a successful mission. But listening to him describe the mission is one of the most painful experiences I've witnessed, especially as an ex-military person. Listening to him try and describe this is painful. So I just can't do it. I'm sorry. We're moving on. I'm getting away from this. So that's the app. We don't want to talk about the app right now. Where was I before we got delayed with President? You know, let's talk about Franklin Templeton. How about that? Let's discuss what's going on with Franklin Templeton. Let me get to the correct screen here. And we will, because this is, I think, a lot more interesting. So again, guys, engage in the chat. I'm going to try and spice it up here because the president talking was just painful. So here we go.
Well, first and foremost, is this financial advice?
This is not financial advice.
And this is not financial advice.
Next question. Name one overhyped and underhyped crypto narrative.
Ooh. Overhyped crypto narrative. Crypto is dead.
Oh, good answer.
Every time there's a market pullback, crypto is dead. This is the end of it. Never happens. Crypto's going to be around long after any of us are. Huh? Underhyped. TradFi coming into crypto is going to make crypto better.
Spicy. Very spicy.
Yeah, overhyped. I struggle with that one because I think fundamentally crypto is still very much underhyped.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it doesn't, the true innovation that it represents, people have not appreciated at all just yet.
Well, first and foremost, is this financial advice?
Everyone who's anyone in this space that has a large amount of capital behind them says the same thing. This is the very beginning. We heard previously, this is the top of the first inning. Again, we're hearing major players in the space now telling you, head of digital assets from Franklin Templeton, they're literally saying people can't be bullish enough. Crypto's dead is a big myth. I mean, these are the major institutional players telling you. And again, Franklin Templeton just launched their own crypto head as well. So again, that cannot be more bullish in regards to what is coming for the crypto space moving forward, at least in my opinion. And a quick recap for anyone who may have came in late, because I know we were watching the president for a little bit there. So quick recap for anyone came in late. Remember, hit the like button to help grow the stream, engage in the chat, your opinions, your topics, your questions. We're going to do a full live Q&A as soon as we get through this. So more chop, again, still hanging around $1.33 for XRP. I believe Bitcoin was around 68 to 69,000 last I checked. It's at 69,000. It did peak briefly up over 70,000 and fell right back below. So again, it bounced off the 70,000 resistance. And Canton had a nice little move this morning, got up to 14.6 before it fell back down to 14.4. We just watched Franklin Templeton. However, a quick recap for anyone who came in late, Japanese bond yields are going parabolic. If you're following the reverse carry trade, this is right in line for you. And you capture that with the money supply, right? So the M2 money supply has tripled since 2008, while at the same time, the dollar's lost 38% of its purchasing power. So we've tripled the amount of money in circulation while reducing the purchasing power by a third. You can start to see a correlation here. There is a direct correlation between these two charts. This is another reason why I do like XRP, because all in all, there's only 100 billion and it is a deflationary asset. So as the currency is debased, as we lose purchasing power, deflationary assets such as gold, silver, copper, XRP, hell, even Bitcoin, things that are limited, things that are deflationary, will increase in value as the dollar decreases in value. That is the debasement trade. Breaking news: Jamie Dimon, warns private credit losses will be larger than expected. We've been talking about private credit issues and cracks in private credit for the last 6 months. Major companies, JP Morgan, BlackRock, we've started to see them write off private credit losses. There's going to be more to come, and that is not good for the economy. Now, when we're talking about major investors, Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway is probably the most famous that most people know. Well, Warren Buffett's sitting on $373 billion in cash, enough to buy 480 of the 500 companies in the S&P 500 outright. When the greatest investor alive refuses to deploy capital, that's not patience. It's a warning. What does Buffett know that we don't? Well, I saw in a previous interview that Warren Buffett said he's waiting for another large pullback before he even entertains getting back into the market. That's Warren Buffett letting you know that he expects a major pullback. BlackRock is setting its sights on a corner of the $13.7 trillion U.S. exchange traded fund, or ETF, industry, long controlled by Invesco, tracking the NASDAQ 100 index. So BlackRock is going to do their own ETF similar to the QQQ, tracking the top 100 companies of the S&P 500. Ripple is set to host XRP Tokyo in 2026 on April 7th. That would be tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. The conference will bring together senior Ripple executives, including Christina Chan, Tatsuya Kohirogi, and Marcus Infinger as keynote speakers. The event centers on XRP expanding roles into institutional adoption, RWA tokenization, and DeFi. Representatives from SBI Asia, A16Z Crypto, and Evernorth, as well as Securitize Japan, are also confirmed to attend. Japan remains one of Ripple's most strategic and vital markets, backed by a long-standing partnership with SBI Holdings. And it would not be a day on Longview Compute without some fantastic news, unexpected news from the Canton Network. Everyone wants to know, when can I store my CC on my wallet? Well, we announced the other day that Wallet Connect is working to partner with Canton Network. Let's see do you guys know who Wallet Connect is by chance? Anybody? Let me know in the chat. Spoiler alert, I know. But they're basically connecting all blockchains to create interoperability between wallets so that wallets can hold multiple different cryptos, transact with each other, creating more interoperability. Let's see what Wallet Connect has to say about the Canton Network. Let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. This caught me off guard.
Yeah, so For us, I think this is extremely exciting. Wallet Connect at its heart works with all different chain ecosystems, but a few times a year, we really prioritize chains that we think are going to be really instrumental in changing the landscape. What that means is that we do work to make sure that Wallet Connect works seamlessly, that it's really easy for our wallets and custodians, and easy for app builders to integrate with that chain. And we see Canton really as one of the most exciting chains in this space at the moment. The work that they're doing on the institutional side around tokenized real-world assets, equities is incredibly exciting, not to mention, of course, kind of the privacy aspect, which really delivers something very different to the ecosystem. So this integration for us is really exciting. As Oily mentioned, last year we launched a program called Custodian Certified, so where Wallet Connect historically has had a very broad network of retail wallets, and also over the last few years we've welcomed more and more institutional and custodian wallets to the network, people like Fireblocks, Hextrust, BitGo, Anchorage, and it's at these places that major institutions, hedge funds, and banks are storing their digital assets. And we were hearing a lot from those customers, when are you going to do Canton? Because that's what we were going to want to be using over the coming years. So that's.
We've heard a lot from major institutions when talking to them. When are you going to do Canton? Because that's who we're going to be using over the next couple years. Major institutions talking to Wallet Connect, asking for support for Canton Network, because that's what they're going to use for the next couple of years. You just heard it from their own voice. That's not me saying it, ladies and gentlemen.
Today's announcement, and I'm very excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. That's probably the most bullish statement I've heard in a hot minute about any blockchain. I mean, we literally just got confirmation from Wallet Connect that major institutions are saying we need support for CC because that's who we're going to be using for the next couple of years. Those aren't my words. Those are words from people in the space. $180 trillion or 100. Let me rephrase. Let me start over. 180 trillion won South Korea conglomerate Hanwha invests into Canton Strategic Holdings. Hanwha Asset Management made an investment of 50 billion KRW, equivalent to approximately 33 million US dollars, into Canton Strategic Holdings Nasdaq CNTN. The publicly traded company, whose core strategy is to accumulate Canton and operate as a super validator on the Canton Network. This builds on Hanwha's long-running Web3 push, the first Korean asset manager to launch a dedicated crypto team in 2020, recent investments in Securitize, Pipe, and preparations for crypto ETFs and tokenized products once Korea's market opens further. With Hanwha's group's 64 billion annual revenue and 70 billion assets under management at its asset management arm, global operations across 800 plus networks in leadership in defense, energy, finance, and alternatives, this move gives Hanwha direct exposure to institutional grade on-chain infrastructure while advancing its tokenized financial roadmap. Major investments coming into CC. Implications are significant on both sides. For Hanwha, it means early access to Canton's privacy-enabled rails for future RWA, tokenized deposits, and cross-border flows in Asia's opening markets. For Canton Network and CC, it brings a wealth of new assets into the ecosystem, validates the CC treasury model, and expands Korea's liquidity and governance participation. It accelerates the network's path toward higher on-chain volume and utility heavily in the Asia Pacific. This is one of Korea's most conservative and well-known financial institutions, signaling that Canton is the go-to blockchain for TradFi. Players who want programmable, private, and compliant infrastructure at scale, talking the talk, and more importantly, walking the walk. And for those of you who don't know it, those of you who may have missed it, BNY was selected as the final agent for Trump Accounts, the U.S. government investment initiative for children, working alongside the U.S. Treasury and Robinhood app and the administration. BNY remains committed to building a more resilient, accessible economy throughout our 240-year history. We have supported long-term growth across generations and geographies. Through this exciting initiative, we are proud to build upon the central role that BNY plays in American financial ecosystem. And remember, BNY was an initial investor and a core investor as well, I believe, as a super validator. I could be wrong on the super validator part of the Canton Network. They're also tied into Ripple. Remember, we position for the long view. It's about putting ourselves where we believe the infrastructure is building out moving forward. And that's why I hold XRP, Canton Network, Chainlink, and HBAR, as well as Ondo, but I've stopped adding to the Ondo bag, and my gold, silver, copper, treasuries, real estate, which I did decrease my real estate and treasuries. We've talked about that. But when we're talking about ways to earn crypto, right? Most retail holders just think of the buy and hold scenario. Well, there's a lot of other ways to earn crypto, and one of those ways is participating in the apps on your favorite blockchains. That's why I'm creating one. Most of you have already known that. Shameless plug, but I am creating my own app on the Canton Network that will be free to use, that will allow you to earn rewards. I did a video on it yesterday. If you want the full breakdown, I suggest you check out that video from yesterday. Now, let's hop into the chat, see how everyone's doing. Price is coming up a little bit, but not much. It's not really doing much here. Canton scan was the burn to mint ratio was starting to move back up. We're starting to see more burn, which is good. We had a nice little lull there, but we are back above 2 million as far as the burn volume, and it is beginning to climb again. Let's hop in the chat, see how everyone's doing today. Hopefully you guys kept the chat burning for me. Sorry about the Trump thing. I thought it would be worth watching. I thought very wrong. I apologize on that. Let's see how everyone's doing today. All right. Hi, everyone. Let's freaking go, says Daniel Green. Green day. I love it. It is a green day. When everything is green, it makes you feel good. But I do like seeing Canton up about 3 to 4% today, though. Right on time. I'm ready for the news and walking the dog. Perfect. Get that exercise in. I have to clean a room when I get done this. I got sucked into coding over the weekend. I was literally coding from 8 p.m. last night to 3 a.m. this morning. I went on a tear, but I finally got the app connected and registered to the Canton Network. I got it to where when I create the player card, it creates the activity on the Canton Network. So it is live and functional on the Canton Network. I still have to clean things up and make everything functional before I can go out to a test. But good morning, Raul. Good morning. CC is better to hold than any other crypto in the space. I tend to agree with you based on what I feel the potential ROI is over the next 5 to 10 years. But again, we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket. We can be wrong. Things can change, right? Just look at Solana. A lot of people thought Solana was going to be the big deal. Okay? People are changing their mind on that after what's happened over the last year or two. Todd Madison in the house today. Welcome, Todd. Alcoholic Click made it in the house today. Raul says he needs an app. No sleeping on the job, sir. No sleeping on the job. This is so exciting, though. What's that? What do you find exciting? And again, we're going through the chat. We've already done the recap. So right now, guys, we still have 27 minutes. The time is yours. We need topics. We need opinions. We need thoughts. We're going to talk until you guys are done. So don't let me get to the bottom of the chat. And we'll keep talking. Let me see how many people are in the stream here. 42 in the stream today. If you're new to the stream, where are you from and what is your favorite crypto? It's been a little bit quiet, but it was Easter weekend. We've been getting up to 100 plus in the streams. It's starting to dip back down. So if you're new to the stream, where are you from and what is your favorite crypto? We will continue going through the chat here. And again, if you're just coming in, we will cover a recap once I get through all of the chat. Michael Watson in the house today. So Todd said he's watching the markets. I asked if there was any reaction. And he said oil's going up and equity is going down because we put on the president talking for a little bit, but that was boring as hell. It killed the stream and it was painful to watch. Vaughn says he can make oil go down. He'll just buy some. It's how it feels sometimes, right? As soon as you buy it, it goes down. Yeah, it was painful to watch that address, for lack of the better word. I couldn't stick with it. Like, it was literally, I literally turned it on. I could see people leaving the stream. It was just painful to watch. Link, CC, HBAR, and Tau. I've been looking into Tau more. I've also been looking into a lot more Zebek. I'm considering adding Zebek in as the fifth pillar. Actually, I'm debating between Tau and Zebek on what's going to be my fifth pillar. And actually Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid, Tau, and Zebek. I'm debating between what I'm going to bring in as my fifth pillar to replace Ondo. I'm not selling my Ondo. I'm going to leave my stack there, but I think I need to start building on something else with a little bit better tokenomics, just my opinion. He won't probably be alive much longer, unfortunately. Well, that's neither here nor there. Daniel Green said yes. CC and Zebek are the best two in the market right now. Zebek has a lot of use case. I'm still looking at the tokenomics of Zebek. I like the tokenomics of Hyperliquid better. It has a more direct path back to the holder, at least in my opinion. Turn your Ondo bag into a Zebek bag. Okay. A lot of people have been saying that. I've been honestly starting to think about HBAR too, trying to really dig into the tokenomics of HBAR and how it's going to appreciate in value and how the token's actually going to gain money. I've been doing a lot more research into tokenomics lately, as far as, because a lot of us, myself included, years ago, bought tokens because we were told that as the blockchain appreciates, the token's going to appreciate. Well, the blockchains are appreciating right now, and a lot of the tokens ain't doing squat. So it's causing me to reassess the tokenomics of all of my investments and kind of what works and what doesn't in the crypto space. Jackson, Mississippi. Very familiar with Jackson, Mississippi. I was stationed down in Biloxi, Mississippi, but I did a lot of freight going into Jackson, Mississippi. Very familiar with that area. Welcome to the stream, Ricky. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Dagdev BG from Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan. Oh man, that's rough up there, isn't it? Flint, Michigan. Isn't that the place? And again, no offense to anyone. But I believe, if I remember correctly, Flint, Michigan was the one that had all the water problems years back, where they had the water shortages. But XRP and CC, I love both too. I really get a lot of flack about loving both, because apparently people want to think they compete. See, this is why XRP will never go anywhere. It has bad tokenomics. Ripple's only benefits is of us. Well, they've adjusted the tokenomics, though, to bridge in their DeFi protocols that they've been bringing in, right? They've been doing the lending. They've been doing the staking. They declared it as the default bridge asset. Again, the tokenomics of XRP are difficult because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's not doing what it was designed to be doing yet, right? It's designed to bridge assets. There's not enough assets on the ledger to drive the utility and appreciation of the value of XRP, in my opinion. But when we're looking at tokenomics, it is still a deflationary asset. So over time, it should go up in price as the dollar weakens and as it continues to deflate. It's still a good hedge against inflation, in my opinion, because it is by proxy a deflationary asset. I held Zebek for about a year, been building my bag, sold about a week so I could buy Canton, was 1580. Then a couple days ago, Zebek starts running and Canton drops. I could have made 70. See, this is why, and again, this is why I don't make any rash adjustments. I dollar cost average in, I dollar cost average out. If I'm going to remove a bag or sell a bag, I think really long and hard about it. Because yeah, it seems like that happens as soon as you get out of one and into another one. Again, that's why we're here for the long view. What's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years, not necessarily what's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 weeks. Because things like that do happen, and it sucks, Dustin. It feels awful when that happens. Because you second guessed yourself, and then bam, you get squatted. Thank you for bringing up HBAR. I hold HBAR, and all it's done is lost. Wasn't sure if I wanted to hold it. I still hold mine, but I've been thinking about it seriously lately. And again, all I can do is be honest with you guys, truthfully. Dustin writes, oh, you lost 70K. Vaughn said a cool video would be a guide on how to make an app for CC. Also, talking to AI about tokenomics can be insightful. AI says XRP and HBAR tokenomics are not great. I agree with the HBAR statement. I would disagree with XRP because of the infrastructure it sits between. Right? That's the only reason I disagree with XRP. XRP is at the center of cross-border payment infrastructure. Ripple built out the stack. Okay? Can I tell you it's going to go to $1,000 like some people? No. But I do believe that it's going to go up in value. One, because no matter what, if you want to take away all the tokenomics, everything else, it's deflationary. That's number one. It's a fixed asset that is shrinking in value. That's number one. Number two, it does have a use case. It's designed to bridge cross-border payments. It's designed to bridge on-chain assets. They need on-chain assets to bridge. It is plugged in as the default liquidity bridge for all transactions on the XRP ledger, and it's also plugged into DeFi lending as well as other things on the XRP ledger, not just cross-border payments. They just said they're bringing agentic AI to XRP. Again, micro payments and AI agents are going to be major moving forward. So, I mean, there's so many factors. There's going to be elements for tokenomics that we aren't even aware of yet. So that's why I'm looking at tokenomics, but I'm still looking at infrastructure. I think infrastructure is important. They can have the greatest tokenomics in the world, but if they have shit infrastructure and no adoption, that token's not going to move, right? There could be a token that's 10 times better than the next guy. That's great. Look at freaking Bitcoin and look at everything else, okay? There's tokens that are 10 times better, 10 times more functional, 10 times more utility, 10 times more speed. None of that matters if people don't want to use it. So we got to follow the money. The money will tell you where to go. CC, Tau, and Zebek, and BTC. Okay. I got the CC. Daniel Green says, come on, people, smash the like button. Again, the like button does help grow the stream. This channel, this community is for the community. It's about growing the community. I'm building an app to give CC back to the community. So if you guys hit the like button, it helps grow the stream. It helps grow the community, bring more ideas, more thoughts, more opinions. The larger the community, the smarter we all are, in my opinion. There's a lot of smart people in this community. HBAR, Solana, and Cosmos staked. Oh, so you're going with the staking. Okay. And that's another way too. That's the thing, is that staking on the Canton Network is not all that great because they're looking for utility, not just people to invest. They got plenty of money to invest in the Canton Network. They're wanting utility driven to their network. You need mass adoption and good tokenomics for the best returns. Exactly. And that's why I centered myself with CC. And that's why I centered myself with XRP, because of the first part, mass adoption. And then the tokenomics, I do like CC. And then that's also, I was focusing heavily on mass adoption at the beginning. Who's positioned to be mass adopted? HBAR, Ondo, Chainlink, right? And then we look at the tokenomics. Have you talked about Cancor that Canton now has for bridging? I haven't talked about it. I haven't talked about many of the smaller apps on Canton yet because I'm starting to get plugged into a lot of them. And when I say I'm starting to get plugged into a lot of them, as I've been working on developing an app on the Canton Network, my footprint, if you will, in the Canton community has been growing exponentially. So I'm starting to get plugged in and talking with a lot of these developers on some of these projects. And I definitely expect, I don't want to say expect, but I definitely foresee collaborations in the future, bringing people on to talk about their projects and how the projects works. And I think it'll be really good, especially understanding the real in and outs and behind the scenes of one blockchain. I think will grant a better viewpoint of maybe how things work on other blockchains as well. Someone mentioned right here, a cool video making an app for the CC, also talking about AI with tokenomics. The thing about the app or doing a video creating the app, I did actually put a video on there roughly explaining the app, but I can do a video about actually building an app. It's kind of boring. Most people aren't going to like it. It's literally just me sitting there going back and forth because I have zero coding experience. Luckily, they have templates that you can use that make it much easier for Canton Network that you can code with Claude to get your basic shell up and running. I didn't even have to do the basic shell. Claude and the template from Canton Network did that. And then from there, like programming all the back end, programming all the front end, getting everything to look a certain way. That was a lot of back and forth with me telling Claude, hey, I want to do this. And it says, hey, code this. And then I code it and it comes back with an error or it works. And then I tell Claude, okay, this is what happened. And they're like, okay, here's the fix. So literally I feel like a 2-year-old going back and forth between the terminal for coding and Claude. But the cool thing is it tells you we're doing this. Here's why we're doing this. So it's actually teaching me how to code while I'm doing it. I've learned more about coding in the last week and a half than I could have ever possibly imagined I would. It's crazy to me what you can do with some of the tools that are available to you out there. And once I get a little bit more experienced with it, I will gladly come out and do a video about how someone with zero experience, someone with brain damage, who has short-term memory loss, can actually come out and create an app. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And honestly, I like the fact of being involved in crypto as opposed to more than just a retail holder. It's really exciting to me. The CEO from Zebec, Simon, speak tomorrow at XRP, at the XRP convention. Okay, so you're saying that Zebek's speaking at XRP Japan tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? Vaughn, I would like it. Any way to make more CC, I'm interested in. Okay. 49 people in the stream. You call it vibe coding? Is that a thing? Is that really what it's called? Is vibe coding where you just have AI tell you what to do? So like I'm basically just speaking my vision to Claude and the AI, telling it what I'm envisioning, and it's teaching me how to code it in real time. It's a lot of back and forth, but I was actually my girlfriend's son went to school to be an app developer. That's what he did. That's what he trained in. And he couldn't get a job for the life of him when he got out because AI was stealing everything. And he gave up, and he's actually now working his way up the chain at Walmart. He's got like 6 promotions at Walmart already. Kid's doing great. For a 21-year-old to have his degree like he does in order to build apps and then be like, that didn't work. Let me take it a different way. I mean, kid's doing great. He's adapting and moving on. But I was talking to him. I was like, hey, do you want to help me code this? I'm building this app. I'm like, do you have experience with DAML? He's like, no, I just have, iOS and Android. He's like, let me look into it. So he looks into it. He's like, I could probably figure it out. It's going to take me a while. He's like, DML is really, really hard to code. I have no experience with it. And I told him, I said, well, they have templates and AI plugins that really make it easy to work on. I've already got this, and I showed him what I got. He's like, this is really impressive for someone who has 0 experience. He's like, I don't think I could have gotten this far in that time. So AI is a great tool. It does cost, though, unfortunately. It does cost money to use AI as much as I am to build this app, but Kelly says, hello all. Raul, hi, Kelly. Yeah, Kelly in the house today. Raul in the house today. Last week and this one, I really can't catch the streams, but I'm still following and watching the videos after. It's all right, Kelly. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. And again, as long as you guys like, comment, engage in the chat, help grow the community. Remember, the community's for you all. I love seeing you guys come in and talk to each other back and forth, that the community's starting to build and you guys are talking to each other outside of the streams. That's amazing. No, it's think that is a mistake. Simon is speaking at XRP Vegas. Yes, XRP Vegas is in May. Yes. Vaughn says you better teach that kid how to invest early. Wish I did when I was younger. So here's the thing. I'm trying, but you can't beat him over the head with it. Otherwise they just stop listening. He goes in one ear, out the other. I did give him a cold wallet. I did show him how to use the cold wallet. I've expressed many times investing 10% of your income for 10 years of your life into things you're passionate about. I've talked to him about building a great foundation. So, for him, I'm just going to give basic numbers. So he's 20 years old, he's turning 21, okay? 21 years old. He has a certification in IT, iOS, and Android. And he's now up for his 6th promotion at Walmart. He's working his way up the Walmart chain. And he has over $10,000 saved up in cash for his foundation. He just moved into his own place, which he has a roommate, and he's now investing. So he's got his foundation, and he has a paid off car. He didn't take out a loan for his car. So he's got the foundation and he's starting the investment, and he's 20 years old. Think of it, a 20-year-old with $10,000 in the bank, a paid off car, zero debt, just building. Oh my God. I'm so happy for that kid. He's doing great. He's going to be 30 and be able to do whatever the hell he wants with his life if he keeps it up. I'm so proud of him. I love to use the app when it's ready. Hope it's available for Android. Well, it's going to be on computer, right? It's going to load up from computer at first. The first test net and the early access and all that stuff is going to be PC based. It's not going to be on Android until I get work coding on that. So again, I'm still figuring all of this out, but the first version will be on PC for sure. I know that before I get it to iOS and Android. Kelly been sleeping on it lately. Jose, you missed my comment. I did. Let me see. Let me scroll. Why is it not letting me scroll up here? Oh, there. Well, maybe. Let's see. Jose. H-bar is also deflationary, and its counsel and use of those in the counsel is massive. But how? Okay, so Jose, how does the token appreciate in price? How does the H-bar token appreciate in price? That's what I want to know. What causes the token to appreciate in price is the question. I tried my kids to invest. They don't want to do it. And that's unfortunately a thing. I mean, we can remember back when we were kids, we were given all kinds of good advice that we ignored. Sometimes you just have to learn the lesson the hard way, unfortunately. And sometimes you got to learn it more than once. But life has a very strange way of teaching you the same lesson over and over again until you figure it out. Kids have to want to do it. If they don't want to, they won't. Exactly. It's a cycle. We've all been... Yes, echoing SVJ. You said it first. Jose, how's the weather in El Paso? The weather here today is great. It's like 80 degrees and sunny today. It's a fantastic day here in Kansas City. Hopefully it's warm where you guys are. How many people we got going in here? Did it die out yet? Well, we got 46 still hanging out in the stream. We got up to as high as 51. Do we have any new people in the stream today? Any new members? Oh, by the way, speaking of memberships, I did figure this out, by the way, because I think this is only fair, because I've been saying from the get-go, my founding members will have special privileges. So, I thought about this. So, as a special gift to my members, YouTube channel members, will receive the first access to the app when it goes live. Hands down. They pay a subscription. They support the channel. They show up to the members only live streams every single Wednesday. It's only fair that I give them first dibs on the app. But after that, I will open up a test, or I will open up a wait list, excuse me. So once I do get it live to go to testing, members will get early access. They will be the test access site. And then I will do a wait list for early access once we work all the bugs out between me and the members. And then we'll move on to a wait list and then early access. So if you guys want to be a member and be able to join the test phase, you can do that. We do a weekly live stream Google Hangouts where we all talk and hang out with each other, discuss ideas, discuss investments. It's basically the core team of the Longview crew, if you will, as far as the direction of the channel and how we're going to move forward. So memberships are available. There is value. I try to present value in new and unique ways all the time. So a special thank you to my members in the stream today. I see Raul, I see Todd. Who else? Any other members in the stream I'm missing today? Stephen Haynes in the house. I don't think Steven's a member. Steven's not a member yet. He's a moderator for me, but he's been here since the beginning too. So right now, members currently in the stream are Todd and Raul. So thank you guys for your participation in the members only live stream. And that is basically an hour. If you guys have any last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, if you want to check out the app, I did do a video on it yesterday. You're welcome to go back and check it out. I'll try to put the link in the description for anyone who is watching the replay of the stream. And again, on your way out the door, make sure you hit the like button. And again, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bells, because not everyone gets notified just on subscriptions when I'm going live. So I go live every single day, Monday through Saturday at noon. Well, most of the time on Saturday at noon. You've been hanging here since the beginning, but not a member. Yes, you have, Kelly. You have been here since the beginning. Maybe I'll be able to do that's the cool thing. I'll be able to do giveaways and stuff like that with random early access codes. Having the app is going to open up a lot of features to the channel too, which is really cool. I'm really looking forward on incorporating the two of them together. So where I can, with the rewards or with access and things there's just so many cool things we're going to be able to do with it. I'm really excited about the community app. Let's check it out. Okay, you want to check it out real quick? We can go through it real quick for those of you who haven't seen it. Is this it? This is it. So, here we go. So, when you go to the Longview crew, this will be the basic landing page. And the goal right now, the thought process is to have the token price, how much CC has been earned by the app, your personal player card showing your streak and how much you've earned, and the leaderboard. If you're not signed up for the league, you would click join the league. I've already done it, so it's not going to do anything. And at this point, it would come up with a little box right here for you to register on the Canton Network and join the league. Once you've joined the league, you'll get a player profile card. And every time you answer a question, you create an event. You create a utility event. This creates a money market maker, or not money market maker. I forget what it's called. Featured app maker reward, which generates real CC for app activity. So what I would do? I would say, do you believe Canton privacy features will be a major driver for institutional adoption? Yes. And then this pops up. It says answer recorded on the Canton ledger. Streak increased to 22. Okay, boom. And then I come down here and it would open up a bonus challenge to where I can earn additional CC or points. I haven't decided yet. You click that and it would bring up a bonus challenge. The goal of the bonus challenge would be to participate in some other form of DeFi on the Canton Network, whether it be opening a wallet, whether it be buying a tokenized real world asset, participating in prediction markets. Again, none of these things are required to participate, but this is a way to earn additional activity. And the concept is to teach people how to use DeFi, right? Bring people in, answer a basic question, and then learn about DeFi in the app. There would be a community page with a community forum to where everyone could talk back and forth, discuss ideas, concepts, thoughts. An option to create a new wallet directly in the app so no one has to worry about connecting a wallet. A lot of people are scared to connect a wallet to an app they don't know. This would allow you to create a wallet and you can store your CC rewards in the wallet right here on the Canton Network, deploy it elsewhere in the Canton Network, or even send it off of the Canton Network. And in the about page right here. So the mission, this is a community-driven platform built on the Canton Network. The goal is to make earning real CC rewards simple and fun and accessible for everyone. whether you're a retail investor or content creator or just curious about decentralized finance. How the rewards work: every time you complete a daily challenge, your activity creates real on-chain events on Canton. These events generate featured app activity markers, which qualify the app for a share of network CC reward emissions. Rewards are automatically distributed 40% to the app owner to sustain and grow the platform. That would be me, with 60% to the active participants based on streaks and utility engagement. Important, no personal CC is seeded. All rewards come from Canton Network's built-in emission model. That means I'm not paying you to use the app. This is only the beginning. The Longview crew is a growing community and evolving app. We started with daily challenges to build consistent engagement and on-chain activity. Additional games, tools, and features will be added over time based on the community feedback. So that is the Longview crew app. I'm still working on cleaning up. I want everything as you go through these to be on one page to where you don't have to scroll. I would like it. Of course, these aren't plugged in. These are just simulated returns and stuff like that right now. So I have to get it all active and live to where it's tracking real live activity. But that is the concept of the app right there in a nutshell if you missed it. Let's get back to the chat and see if anyone is left in here today. When is your interview with Canton? I don't know. I'm going to reach out to Yuval again today. I've been reaching out to him once a week asking about it. I haven't got a response from him yet. I hope he's not dropping it. He did say he was going to do the interview. He did say, let's do an X Space together. I have the tweet. But he hasn't followed up. He hasn't followed back up with me when I reached out. I can't force it, but hopefully soon. But I don't have an answer yet, Larry. I wish I did. I really wish I did. Raul says, bye, Canton. You should limit yourself with only members first. None members like me provide value. Well, you shouldn't limit yourself with only members first. Well, again, when I'm saying that, it's for testing, like basic testing, to make sure all the buttons work before I put people out on it. It's not like they're going to get a whole bunch of early free CC rewards or anything. It's literally them helping me test for bugs and fix it before I put it out to more masses. Kind of like I'll probably do a really small test run of like 5 to 10 people just to make sure everyone can register and everyone can make sure all the buttons work, make sure that it is tracking the real orders and CC rewards. How do you become a member? You can click join right there in YouTube. It's $7.99 for the membership. That gets you the weekly members only live stream in Google Hangout. And I will be giving first access to all members. Hopefully I get enough members to cover the 5 to 10, because right now I only have 7 or 6 members. So the opportunity is there for everyone. And that being said, when I do the test phase, it's probably only going to be like 10, maybe 15 people tops. And again, I'll be able to send invites and stuff like that. And again, it's not me trying to keep people out or anything like that. I want everyone to get in. The fact that there's so much, this is being really well received, and it's really humbling. I feel like I've stumbled onto a great idea, and I'm working on building it out as fast as possible. And I want to make sure everyone is included because it truly is for the community. So I'm really excited about it, and seeing your all's support and seeing your all's excitement about it is really humbling and exciting. It makes me want to work on it even harder. So I appreciate everyone taking your time to be here. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a future stream. We do stream every single day at noon, Monday through Saturday. So I'll see you on the next one. All right, later.